How's it going, everyone, and welcome to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, and today is going to be another Jesse Talks Metal episode, number 15. This one is going to be sort of a response to the topic that Worship the Pizzagram did, but sort of not, because I'm not really responding exactly what he was talking about. But one of the lines he said in his video was the underground isn't important, and I don't think he really meant to say it the way he said it. I'm sure he was trying to speak of it in regards to elitists and people who just use the underground as a way to thinking they're better than others. So pretty much everything he said in the "No one cares that you're underground" or that title of his video, I pretty much agree with everything he said in that, so I'm not going to really touch on that, but it did inspire me to make this Why the Underground is Important Jesse Talks Metal episode. So, if you'll have me, let's talk about the underground and why it's important. First of all, the metal underground, what is it? Well, the underground is basically independent artists who are unsigned. It's a place where every musician starts when they start, writing music and, going to shows and playing in front of people that nobody knows and stuff like that. It's kind of like the underground is the essence of DIY, do-it-yourself type of musicianship and putting music out and like making your own CDs and booklets and tapes and records and merch and hats and all that kind of stuff, like just putting your own money towards it, getting it out there to give to fans that enjoy your stuff and that kind of thing, and you don't have much backing or anything like that. Another thing that's normally associated with the underground is just your rights and your creative freedoms remain with the artists. They don't have a label like lording over them and saying, we want 15 or 20% of the rights to your songs, or you've got to make sure you don't talk about this subject or that subject so that we can make it commercially viable and all that other kind of garbage. And as well, the last part of what makes the underground is basically the commitment and drive that these artists have for making music. And normally the authenticity and genuineness of their music and lyrics are a little bit more true, a little bit more heartfelt, and a little bit more like realistic and personal. So now that we know that, let's kind of just dive in and discuss why the underground is so important. Oh my god, that's sour. Holy shit. This right here, this is like fucking carbonated Jolly Ranchers, okay? God damn. Anyways, so let's just start off why it's so important. Because your favorite band that you like right now was, was underground at some point. Or perhaps they still are. And if your favorite band is, underground or was at some point, that's probably pretty important to you. Another reason why the underground is important is it's, like I said, it keeps more heartfelt music coming, and it keeps the product, the composition of everything, the lyrics, and just more heartfelt and just more genuine, has more personal feelings and thoughts put into it, and kind of makes it a little less limitative on what they're able to do. And honestly, without the underground, all you would have is, whatever these big labels decide to shove down your throat. You'd get a whole bunch of Britney Spears, and a whole bunch of fucking Shakira, and a whole bunch of Backstreet Boys, and a whole bunch of Justin Biebers. And just, the Drakes, the Nicki Minaj's, the fucking Ariana Grande's, or just all that really just shallow, meaningless just garbage that's flooding the mainstream right now. And without, you know, the underground having such a big presence and following, we wouldn't have anything really cool that, you know, us outcast metalheads could turn to instead of all this radio-friendly bullshit. And another thing that makes the underground important is, as a music collector, the underground kind of represents your voice and you as an individual. The bands that you're presented with, that you go to local shows who don't have a big name to them, the bands like that you support and buy merch off, kind of represents you as an individual in a way that just kind of says, I care about these people struggling as musicians, and I appreciate the music and the effort they're putting into their music enough that I'm going to buy merch and support them and send them money, and hopefully they'll get the recognition that they deserve. And it shows kind of a character in yourself. It lets other people know that you're not just all about what's popular. You're not all about, oh, who's making the most money or who's the most successful in the music industry right now. Like, successful. I'm going to put that in quotes because that's kind of a subjective topic right there. What really is being successful in the music industry? Is it making money? Is it being the most popular? Is it having the biggest label backing you? Or is it something else? And I'm pretty sure everyone watching this right now can agree that it's something else. So another reason that makes the underground important is it's the launching platform for every new talented artist. And that's, like I said, it's where everyone gets started. Every new like metal band doesn't just automatically become famous, doesn't automatically just get all this label support and you know, MTV time or Much Music time. They don't automatically just get all this stuff. Like, good quality metal starts off in the underground and normally stays there for quite a while before they get the recognition and support they deserve. So yeah, it's kind of like a launching platform for every decent metal band. Another reason why the underground is important, guys, is it's less copy and paste production and sound. Like, less Pro Tools, less voice pitch corrected robotic crap. The feel of the music is usually a lot more in touch with the human element. It's less just polished over until it's like this gleaming, shining, like, abomination. But like, the grit and the blood, sweat, and tears can really be heard when you buy something in the underground, and you somehow can appreciate that a little more, I feel. I know I appreciate it a lot more when I hear something that isn't just right on the money, perfect production, sounds like, you know, a T-1000 perfected this music and made it, you know, like, it seems more down to earth and more human feeling. It's more gritty and something more that you can connect with on a more personal level. And, you know, in the underground, your support as a fan matters tenfold. It matters so much more to these underground artists. Artists like myself, artists that have spent 4 or 5 years and still aren't, you know, behind a big label or still aren't selling out the Coliseum. Your support and whatnot matters so much more to these guys. You know, showing up to these local venues in the middle of buttfuck nowhere and showing your support and buying their merch, headbanging and creating a ruckus in the pit and just doing what a real metalhead fan should be doing. It really matters to these guys. Whereas Metallica, they don't give a shit. There's videos of people just taking their entire collection, stomping on them, pissing on them, setting them on fire, and just snapping their CDs, and you know, just absolutely hating on Metallica. But they still roll in the Benjamins. You know, it doesn't matter. And when they go and do things like the whole shutting down Napster, it's at least people are listening to your music, Metallica. At least they searched you out specifically to go listen to your music. You know, I mean, I don't support downloading and freeloading fucking music. I'm definitely about buying physical copies, or at least paying for your digital purchases to show the band that, hey, keep that shit up. I like it. But at the same time, at least people are enjoying your music and searching it out to find it and listen to it. And, yeah, underground bands, they appreciate that a lot more. And that's another thing. Underground bands, your money, when you pay money for the shit, it normally goes directly to that band. It doesn't go to a contractor. It doesn't go to a label. It doesn't go to the fucking manager. It doesn't go to the, you know, to the door guy or to the venue like the Air Canada Centre when I went to see Slipknot. I bet you this much of my money went to Slipknot. I bet you this much of my money went to Manson. Not that I really care, because, you know, they've got money to spare. But, you know, that money went probably to the door guy, it probably went to their manager, it went to their fucking label, it went to their merch designer, it went 1,000 different places. Slipknot saw probably like 5 cents of my $75 ticket. So, the underground appreciates more. The underground bands really appreciate that shit more. And that's another thing too. Well, speaking of tickets, you know, in the underground, you don't get charged hundreds of dollars for fucking VIP backstage pass and tickets and like outlandish nosebleed seats that, you know, cost $65 to $70 still. No. Your money is like, people can, you know, fucking hand out $75, $100, $120 to go see these big fucking bands. Like I said, Slipknot. I'm going to be seeing Rob Zombie and Korn and In This Moment with the Wife later on in August. I'm going to be seeing Black Sabbath later on as well. Like, those tickets are pretty expensive. And sometimes people will pay that amount to see these, you know, 1 or 2 bands, but they won't pay $10 to see 5 bands at a local show. Why the fuck not? $10 to go see 5 or 6 local bands play a 20 or 30 minute long set that they worked and practiced for and have perfected as best they can to give you a nice night out in the town to entertain you. Pay the $10. Go see the show. If you have the money and the interest to, you know, see local metal, go support that shit. Go see a show. If you have $10 laying in your pocket right now that doesn't need to go to booze, bills or food, go see a local show this coming Friday or this Saturday or this Sunday. Go support some local metal. Just do it. Why? Because it's underground. And because they appreciate it. You'll help them out. You'll help, you know, you might not even know who's on the bill. But go see it anyways. You might find a new band that might be your new favorite band. Because once again, your favorite band right now was once underground. And they care. They really care if you show up. And they appreciate it. When I was in Diaphasia and we did shows, I was amazed that we actually got the people that showed up. It might only have been 20 or 30 people at the, you know, the local Atria or at the Diesel Room or wherever. But that's those 20 or 30 people, they're the fucking man. They're the fucking woman for showing up and watching us and actually staying through our whole set. You guys are awesome. Like, if I ever get that big again to actually have a full-membered band and do shows on stage, I'm gonna want your asses in those seats or on the fucking floor headbanging and moshing and, you know, having a good time and showing up to these shows. Because that's why we create music. Not just for us. I mean, yeah, we like doing it for our own, you know, reasons, and it's fun to compose music and record it and do that kind of thing and do band practices if we have a whole band, not just an internet band with 1 or 2 guys. But yeah, like, that is awesome. We like to go out on stage and perform for you people and headbang around and rile you all up, get a few beers going, a few drink, and just have a damn good time. If there's only 1 or 2 people there, it's not going to be as good of a time. I mean, we're still going to, you know, play like there's 1,000 people in front of us to those 2 people. But honestly, the more, you know, people in the venue, the more fucking fun we're going to have, I think. So go to a local band, local metal band show and pay the $10. It's only $10. And man, I've seen $5 shows. So it's like $1 per fucking band. Do that shit. Next. And the final point that I'm going to share with you here is pretty much what I was just saying, but a little bit more in depth. It's a more closer-knit family. Local metal shows are usually more intimate and welcoming, and there's just a feeling that you don't get from these big Coliseum or these Air Canada Centre things where everyone's just sitting up on these seats kind of looking down in at the band. You know, even at big shows, like huge shows where there's like a big, you know, open lawn or big open floor, you know, it's sort of intimate, but not as intimate as like a small little buttfuck nowhere venue somewhere that only houses like maybe 50 to 100 to 150 people. Like, you get like 40 or 50 people in that room, like right near the stage and all around the venue. It's like a big family having a bunch of fun, doing a little pits, you know, maybe splashing some beer on you and there and then, because there's always that, you know, asshole Pantera guy in a fucking, you know, cut off sleeve shirt, already drunk and causing some shit. But other than that asshole Pantera fan guy that just randomly shows up to cause shit, it's normally really fun. It's normally great times. And as the underground scene goes, they appreciate the support, they appreciate the money, they appreciate you showing up, they appreciate you buying the merch, supporting them, so they can continue on doing their local tours around the state or around the province, maybe even cross, you know, borders if you're like, you know, close to Ontario and, you know, New York, you want to cross border and do stuff like that. That helps. It helps you get from one show to the next. It lets the bands know that they're appreciated and to keep making music and keep, you know, living the dream. Like, they're not making tons of money, but at least you're helping them live somewhat of the dream of making music and touring and just having that as your, you know, life goal or whatever. Fuck, that's sour. But yes. And that's it, man. Just go to shows more often. Buy the merch. Support your band. If you have a friend in a band that's local and you're not at their show like once a month or every other month, shame on you. Especially if you got the money. Like, who doesn't have $5 or $10 laying around once a month to go see a local show? Unless you're living on the streets and you're homeless, you've probably got that lying around. Dig some shit out of the back of your car, out of the back of your couch, grab those loonies and quarters up, or, you know, dollars and quarters if you're in the States, because you don't have loonies down there. But go to the show, man. Support the bands. Headbang. Fucking mosh. And don't throw your arms around like a goddamn retard. Like actual mosh, okay? Unless it's like a hardcore show. Then maybe throw your arms around like an asshole. But do it, man. The underground is a good, welcoming, loving community. And I appreciate the support when in the bands. They appreciate the support. And it just matters. It matters so much more when you're in the underground. And we appreciate the fans. They appreciate the fans so much more. And it's so important. The underground is so important, my friends. Thanks for watching. I hope you agree. I hope I shed some light on maybe something that you didn't really see before. Let me know in the comments section how your feelings on the underground are. Let me know what you feel is important in the underground. And if for whatever reason you don't think the underground is important, give me a logical reason why you don't think it is. try to keep it civil. We're all friends here. Okay? We all support each other in the metal community. There's no need to kill each other in the comment section. Just have a nice, calm, rational, logical conversation. Is all I ask. Just be a dude, not a dick. You know, in the words of Murderface, be a dude, not a dick. And that's it, man. Stay sick and have a good day.